Hello, my brothers and sisters. I hope y'all are having a great day and a great evening. I wanted to give you a message from the Lord and also some visions that He had given me alongside of this. And on July the 2nd, He said, "Write my words, my dove. My utterances will remain on the paper for all to read. The internet is like a dish rag being squeezed out. My words will continue to flourish on the internet, but I am starting a new thing. Keep watching and following. I am leading you down a path of mortal destruction. I am the destroyer. I come to destroy evil. Thank you for letting me live through you. You are amazing. Keep pressing on towards the high calling of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach." And then a few days after that, He gave me a vision. And it was on, what day was this? I'm sorry. Okay, it was on July the 7th. So it was 5 days later. And so the first thing I heard in this vision, it was two different visions, but the first thing I heard was judgment, and I could literally see the Spirit of God coming at me in judgment, and it just totally terrified me. And anyway, so as I started to slumber off, then the Lord awoke me to impart into my body it looked like two celery sticks with a shield around it in the front of it, and He put this on the right side in my heart, and I didn't know what that was. I still don't know what that was, but it penetrated my heart. And I felt like, He was giving me some kind of a reward or something for me to go on. But I really didn't understand it. But it was coming at me from heaven, and He put it in my heart. And then later on in that morning, I woke up, and right in the center of my skull, inside, it was like a voice was being squeezed in, and it was a male voice, and he said, "I love you, Missy." And he was just really squeezed in there. He could, barely talk. And then the other day when I went to visit a church locally here, and the minister was preaching, and it was kind of an old country type church, and there was that spirit of familiarity there. So I was just praying that the Lord would just impart His Spirit on the people and help the minister. And then after I prayed that, I could just feel this spirit just leave this part of my mind. And I think he went to the minister, because the minister, you could tell he kind of got a little bit of an enlightenment. And it was really interesting, what the Lord was doing there. But, He's just showing us that, He's teaching us that what's that little bit that's being squeezed out is being imparted into the church. And so it's such an important thing that's going on in the church right now, and with God's people. And so I pulled some scripture about that little bit that's being pulled out of us to minister to other people. And Psalms 37:16 says, "Better is the little that the righteous has than the abundance of many wicked." And we have to remember that we look at people that have all these things, and, their lives just seem like everything's great and wonderful, but really we don't know what their relationship is with God. And so we just have to remember that whatever He gives us, we need to be thankful for, whether it's a little or a lot. And there was another one in Proverbs 15:16. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure and trouble with it. So to whom much is given, much is required. And so maybe just having a simple life is not so bad. And Luke 16:10, one who is faithful in a very little is also faithful in much, and one who is dishonest in a very little is also dishonest in much. And we need to remember that when we're dealing with other people, that if they're not faithful in small things, they're not going to be faithful in big things. And so 2 Corinthians 3:17, now the Lord is the Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is freedom. And so this all pertained to this little bit of love that God was sharing. He was in me, and He was sharing it with everybody else. And so what a blessing it is that we are just, I'm just a nobody, and that He can take just a little bit of that love that I have and make it a great big thing in the kingdom, and that it blesses other people. And I hope that I'm blessing, you today, and that you feel that freedom of having God's love, and being in the Lord and walking in the Lord's ways. And we're actually in the kingdom. And so we have to remember that, as we walk through the world, we're really in the kingdom, not necessarily on the earth. So, but I hope you guys have been blessed by this. And this is a season of seeing a very little turn into a lot. And so I hope you guys have a blessed day and stay in prayer.